Morning, friends. We will start soon. Please give me another 2 minutes because under registration we have quite a bit, but currently quite a few of them are not in yet. So just bear with me, maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. All right. Thank you. All right, guys, I think I better start. It is already 9:06. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Thank you for attending today's session. What I'm going to do today basically is to explain and to speak a little bit on the APEL and what APEL is and how do we, UOW Malaysia, what role do we play in the implementation of APEL and the type of implementation that we can actually do. All right. You all hear me loud and clear? Good? All good? Can? Yes? All right, good. Okay. Now, when we talk about APEL over here, ladies and gentlemen, basically what we are looking at, APEL stands for Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning. That is what APEL is. APEL is something that has been implemented for over the decade in Malaysia, and it was driven by certain understanding and policies by our ministry. Now, one key aspect on its implementation was the change in our ministry's focus. Not only were they solely looking at the development of education and also the development of the growth of education for secondary, primary, and also tertiary level, opening for those coming down from the secondary to tertiary, but they were also looking into a very big market, a market that was driven by individuals who never had the opportunity to study when they were young. Okay, so there were many individuals when they were young, they did not manage to study. Why? There were many reasons. It could have been financial reasons, it could be time, it could be opportunity in their particular geographical area, and so on. However, these individuals now reach a particular state in their life, and being in a particular state in their life, they may be held down, not allowed to progress due to the formal education that they did not have. Okay, so that is where APEL came out. Accreditation of prior experiential learning. If you look into the definition itself by the wording, accreditation is to recognize. All right. So what we are doing is we are recognizing prior. Prior is things that happened before. And what are we recognizing that is before? Experiential learning. Experiential learning comes in many different forms. Through our interest, through our reading, through even surfing YouTube channels, or maybe going into Coursera. So what we are looking at here under APEL is APEL opens an opportunity for the recognition of individuals who have this experiential learning. So in today's session, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually explain the emergence of APEL, as I've already given a brief introduction over there. Types and objectives of APEL. What are the types? There are numerous types of APEL. And it is very important for us to understand that we as UOW Malaysia, having 4 institutions under one roof, not all of us can do APEL. All right. I'm going to explain that. Then I'm going to touch a little bit about policies, assessment, and the implementation. Today's session, as what it was planned, we will finish by 11. And after maybe 45 to 50 minutes, I'll give you all a short break. Okay. So when we talk about APEL itself, of course, it is critical to look at the Malaysian Education Blueprint, the previous one, the current one, and it is that there is a new one that it is coming very soon, and this is the 2015-2025 Malaysian Education Blueprint, where there is one key element under its key areas, the 10 key areas that they need to focus was on a nation of lifelong learners. Okay, a nation of lifelong learners, where they want individuals, regardless of their age. It doesn't mean for you to do a degree, you need to only be in your early 20s or in your late teens. No. So even an individual who is in his 40s or his 50s, who when they were young did not have that opportunity, we want them to also attain a qualification. Okay. So that was the key aspect over there. So in our context, it's very easy. So like for all of you, you all will know, even a person who is 40 years old, let's say, if this person wants to do a degree, the entry requirements are still the same. Okay, regardless, in Malaysia, MQA, MQF states very simply, even the ministry, for you to do a degree, you need STPM or A levels, or you need to have completed a foundation or a diploma. Okay, very, very straightforward. Okay, now, and a degree will then be in a normal length, 3 years. Of course, engineering can be 4 years, 120 credits. Okay, a minimum of 120 credits. Now, that is very, very, very straightforward. That type of degree or that type of entry requirements and the length of it is very, in a way, suitable for those upon completing their secondary education. Why? They haven't started work yet. Okay, so they can go. Now, visualize this, a person who's been working in the industry for 40 years. At 40 years old for maybe 20 years. This person is already now a middle manager who only maybe had an SPM. Okay, an SPM. But this person now has reached a ceiling, a glass ceiling, where the reason why this person cannot further progress or be promoted was because of his or her education or qualification. So now this person wants to do a degree. So now if you do the equation here, ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. He wants to do a degree, he only got SPM. Can or not? Cannot in Malaysia's regulation. So this person, SPM, he can only do a diploma. So if he completes his diploma in a part-time mode, which is 3 years, then he can do a degree with credit transfer. Correct? Understand, guys? Credit transfer. And then he goes into the degree, he still needs to do another, after credit transfer, another 3 years. So for this poor chap, for him to complete his degree at 40 years old, is going to be 6 years. in the formal progression mode. Formal progression mode, 6 years. How many of these individuals in their 40 will be able to sacrifice or I won't use the word sacrifice, I think that's wrong, to commit 6 years for them to complete a degree? Very low. It is not attractive for many of these individuals. Okay, they want to do, but it's not attractive. So that is where APEL came in. APEL came in to recognize this person's prior achievement. So this person started working when he's 20 or after SPM 18, and now for 22 years, he has been working. He is now a middle manager in a large corporation. So APEL recognizes what he has done. So what he has done over there in 20 years is not then lost. So there are many ways of recognizing it. It could be through entry. Due to his qualification or due to his experience, he can go through APEL A and be able to enter into a degree program after assessment. So it bypasses the diploma, number one. When he is already in a degree program, he can apply for APEL C credit transfer, where based on his experience and his expertise, he can apply for certain core courses that for him, he has been doing it for many years. Understand? So maybe the duration of his degree from the 120 credits can be reduced to maybe 90 or 100 credits. And this will reduce his duration in completing the program. So what I'm going to do today is to explain to you all of this. It can be quite technical, but once you see the big picture, it is actually quite simple. And I really applaud the government in emphasizing and pushing on this, because this opens up avenues for individuals who have not the opportunity previously to be able to get a qualification that could elevate their status and also elevate their opportunity for them to progress in their career. So this is actually pretty good. Okay. At any time you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Understand, guys? Okay. So far you're getting the gist of it, huh? Okay. So I think it is important for us to, as we start off very straightforward, Malaysia MQF. As you can see, all my sessions, guys, I always put this in. I want to instill in this, all of you academicians, this must be in your mind, tahap and so on. So if you look into this tahaps here, very simple lah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And all of these levels have a entry requirement. So if it is diploma, credit, how many credits do you need to join a diploma? A general diploma, a general one. I understand some will say nursing, 5 credits. But normally, let's say a business program, how many credits? A business program, very good. And pass in Bahasa Malaysia and Sejarah, 3 credits, very good. Nursing different lah, nursing is 5. Certain engineering diploma also 5. Certain computing one also 5. Program standards. So based on this, in our Malaysian qualifications framework, it is a very rigid structure. I'm using the word rigid here. Rigid means cannot move. You go to an organization, you go to an institution, you only got 2 credits. No way they can take you in for a diploma unless you fulfill other criteria. I'm not talking about other criteria. I'm talking about the straight cut entering into a diploma. You got 2 credits, you can beg them, they still cannot accept. If they accept you, it is against the law. I'm saying normal circumstance, unless you have other entry requirements or whatnot. Okay, and the same thing for the degree. Okay, degree, and for the same thing for the master's and a PhD. Simple as that. That is how Malaysia we look, which is not wrong. Okay, so APEL is open for all levels over here. Okay, APEL is open for all levels. Okay, now I'm going to run through now. So APEL, Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning. So in BM is pengakreditan pengalaman pembelajaran terdahulu. All right. So the BM's definition is also very straightforward. The recognition of your experience and your learning, prior learning. Okay, terdahulu. So when we look into assessment of prior learning, apa itu prior learning? Prior learning can fall into three components. It can be formal, informal, and non-formal. Formal is any kind of learning or qualification that comes out with an official recognized certificate. SPM is formal learning. Okay, and it goes on. I will explain as we go on earlier, as we go on. Okay, so formal learning, non-formal, and informal. These are the three key elements that APEL recognizes. All right. So formal learn. What is formal learning? Okay, formal learning is here. I show you this picture. By showing this picture, you will know. As I said, any qualification that comes out with a cert that is official from a governing body. UOW Malaysia's diploma programs all pass MQA, got at least PA or FA, provisional accreditation or full accreditation. These are formal learning programs. Formal. SPM is formal. Understand? Huh? A levels, formal. All these are called formal learning. Non-formal learning, as you can see this picture over here, is learning based on your own wanting. Some of us, me and you, we have our formal qualification. Some of you have a level 8 PhD. Some of you have a level 7, a master's. Some of you have a level 6, a degree. Some of us have multiple formal learning also. I have a level 8, a level 6, a level 4. I actually also have a level 7, a level between 6.5 in a way. So why? These are formals. But we also learn things where we go into this thing called Coursera, right? And now we go to Coursera. Some of us are interested in certain areas and topics. We go to Coursera, we learn Coursera. Okay, example, micro-credential. There are many micro-credentials, okay, we learn. After we learn already, we pay, we do a test, we get a certificate. But that certificate that we get from Coursera or any micro-credential organization, is it same level as a diploma, a formal diploma? Yes or no? Or is it's just a short certificate? Is it same? What do you think? That certificate you get from Coursera. Yes or no? Yes, you can put just put a sign, no need to worry. No, it is not. What do you think? Yes or no? The simple certs that we get from Coursera and so on. Guys, come on, come on. What do you think? Mm. You're there. First things first. No, no, no need to put question mark. It's no, no, no. Kamini, it is not. And those are short programs, short. It is like I got interest in baking. I go and join Sunway baking school. One day, they teach me how to make bread. One day, and then they give me a cert. It is called non-formal because that cert is short course. Very good. Short course. Very short course. Okay? Very good. And many of us do that, many of us in our own free time, we do that. We don't even put it, we don't record it down. We do that because we enjoy doing it. Baking lah, engineering lah, and this and that, short courses. Then, of course, we have informal learning. Informal learning is something that we learn subconsciously or we learn based on interests. Some of us like photography. That's why I like to use this picture over here, photography. I do not have any qualifications on photography. However, I enjoy photography using mobile phone and also using a DSLR camera. I like it. I do take, take here, take there, and so on. But how do I learn all of this? You know what I do? I go to YouTube, I learn. I go to YouTube, I learn. I go to bookstores, I buy books and I read. What is aperture? what is shutter speed, and so on. So I learn all of this, ISO and all of this. I watch videos and I actually learn this and I take photographs. And what I have done is I have gone through this for many years. All right. For maybe 30 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. Now, that is also recognized. That is called informal learning. Informal learning. So now, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about APEL over here, it is beautiful. The recognition of formal, non-formal, and also informal learning. So this is something very, very good. Okay. So let me continue over here. Training and semi. Okay, let's say Kamini has written. How about trainings and seminars? Does it include part of non-formal learning? Yes. You are now all of you here, non-formal learning. Okay. How does applicant produce evidence tu nantilah. Jisun, pelan-pelan sikit. I will come to it very soon. Very soon. Is it mere declare? There is this keyword later I'm going to instill in all of your minds. It's called bukti. Evidence. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Must have some sort of evidence. Later I explain. Wait. Okay. So now, as we say, formal learning refers to learning that occurs in an organized and structured environment, usually intentional, and the excess of learning leads to an award of a formal qualification or certification. See? So we have SPM, STPM diploma, and so on. Okay, so non-formal, I jump at the bottom here. Non-formal refers to learning that is intentional, which may be conducted in a structured and organized environment. This form of learning may not necessarily lead to a formal certification. Coursera lah, you join Coursera, you join all of these courses, may not have a formal qualification, but you get the experience. Some of you may have signed up for painting classes because you like painting. Some of you may have signed up for baking classes because you like baking. And it is because you like it, that's why you sign up for it. Okay? Training, short courses, seminars, and so on. Okay? Some of you may be just joining this workshop because you enjoy learning about something new like APEL, not because you just want to meet your 40 hours per year. So it's a learning that is important. Now, and of course, informal learning. Informal learning refers to the knowledge and skills acquired by the applicant based on his or her self-effort. Self-effort, it is usually incidental or unintentional. Incidental means based on my enjoyment of photography, I am learning something. I enjoy photography, but then I'm learning because I go around and take photos. Okay? I used to enjoy tech. Yes, I used to make my own computers, I buy, in KL over here, there's this area called, in KL, it's called Laoyat Plaza and also Imbi Plaza. Some of you may have heard of this place. We go and buy parts. So when I was I'm talking about 20 over years ago, I enjoy buying parts and assemble computers on my own. That is my interest. Intentionally enjoying something. Yes. Why? No, unintentional also got, because you can intentionally or unintentionally. Okay. Unintentionally means um when you didn't focus to really want to learn to get the knowledge, but because your enjoyment, you attain the knowledge. So the example is my computer. Remember when I told you 30 years ago, used to go to IMBI, buy motherboard, buy this, buy that. Then what happened is I install because I enjoy doing this thing. And during the process, I learn. How did I learn? Trial and error. Do wrong, boom, burst, motherboard gone. Wasted $120. Yes, last time motherboard is that cheap, $120, $130. Then go to IMBI again, buy another one, come back. This time I learned, don't put the jumper here, change it to another place. You see? So that is learning unintentional. I enjoy doing it, I want to make on my own, but I learn also. So that's why it's called unintentional. Photography is the same. All right. Now, even though in my age, I'm already 5 series already, but I enjoy video games, I play games. Okay. I have a games room with my PS5, my Xbox, and so on. All right. So what I do, guys, seriously, for those of you, for those of you who enjoy playing consoles and whatnot, over time you need to clean the console, no, because it gets stuck. It gets stuck. Okay, air. All right. So for me, unintentionally, because I know that is how it is, I begin to open up my consoles and clean on my own. And from there, I learn. And when I learn, eventually, you know what I do? I advise. So now the student becomes a teacher. I have friends who have the same problem, and I advise them, hey guys, you got to open up, you need to clean, and so on. So that is in a way unintentional. No way did I really want to learn about a PS5. I didn't want to. But during the process that I needed to do, I learned. During the process I needed to do that, I learned. All right. It is like the journey is more important than the destination. So it's the journey that we go through. Okay. So sources of informal learning are work and life experiences, even the experiences when you travel, some of you really like to travel, you do hiking and so on. Okay. During the process, you learn a lot of aspects pertaining to immigration, pertaining to customs of a country and so on. You didn't formally, I'm going to go and learn about the immigration, but because you travel so often, you learn. And from there, you have knowledge. Okay. So even and other activities such as reading, community work, hobbies, and whatnot. Community work, I love that example over there. Some of you over here do charity work. All right. You do charity work because your heart is good. Okay. You do charity work, then you go out and then you go and you go and communicate with people. You enjoy that. But during the process, you are also learning. This is a learning process. You see challenges, and from there you look into those challenges and overcome those challenges. It wasn't a conscious process for you to, I want to go there to learn those challenges. No, it was, I go there to do charity work. Then during the process, there were issues, human resource issues, conflict, and so on. And from there, I learn. From there, I tackle and I learn. All right? So when you look at APEL over here, ladies and gentlemen, it recognizes this. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? This is important is because as you go along, you will see that a lot of our roles, a person may be working for 20 years in accounting. So they said, oh, I only do accounting. That is what I do. No, because there could be other informal learning during your job that now not only do you do accounting, but you are able to handle people issues. All right, you're able to handle problems because that is based on the role that you actually do itself. Okay, so that is where the beauty of APEL comes in. All right, why, how the government actually implement this, because they wanted that recognition in individuals who have many, many, many years of experience. Get this, guys? So how is this recognized? All right. So there are certain core principles over here. Prior experiential learning should be recognized regardless of how and when it was obtained. So prior, so all those, how it was obtained, it must be recognized, provided it is related to learning or a form of competency acquisition. Okay. So if a person say, teacher, sir, I learn baking. Okay, I learned baking. So you want to assess that person? Yeah, you learn baking, very good. There must be evidence. There must be bukti evidence. How do you ask for evidence whether this person say that he has done baking? Writing an essay cannot. Doing a presentation cannot. It must be product demonstration because it's baking. All right. So certain disciplines and areas we have different assessment method. Different assessment method. So this is what the first thing, the core principle is recognition. We recognize everything, but must have evidence. Two, assessment will be based on authentic, flexible, current, and reliable evidence. See, evidence. That's why, as I said, bukti, 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 bukti. Bukti is very important. What is the evidence this person proved to you? We cannot just take ailio ni saliva. That guy just say, oh, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm good at that. No bukti. No bukti. That is why for those of you who sometimes when you interview new staff, oh, I've been teaching this and that. Oh, how many years? He can shout, he can say that I'm very expert and so on. Then we do, when we do hiring, we do a mock lecture. Come do a mock lecture, short one. I give you one topic, you talk for 20 minutes and see how you convince. Me and my colleague over here are students. Some of them say they do all these things, but when they do the mock lecture, oh my God, garu kepala. So what is said versus evidence, wrong. So then we know what is actually truth. Okay. Evidence can also mean looking at other your previous employer, and so on. Evidence. Oh, I'm in my office, I do this, I do that, I manage 100 people, and so and that. No problem. We can even check with your employer. Hey, Mr. Lim, your staff here, can we just check? He's coming to join us. He's applying for this and that. He say he managed this and that. If the manager, yes, this chap is very good, this and that, then sometimes he even give letter of recommendation. So all of these are evidence. Okay, evidence. Okay. Next, assessment will be conducted by practitioners expert in the field or related field. So the assessment, if I am to assess, let's say Stephanie is applying for credit transfer for baking. I am not a baker. I cannot assess law. It must be done by an expert. It must be done by a chef to be able to assess that. The person assessing must be a person of skill and ability and knowledge. The method of assessment will be tailored to the level and experience of the learners, thus providing an opportunity for learners to demonstrate their acquired competencies. Student coming in at a diploma level, degree level, don't assess them at a PhD level. It's not fair. So that must be very important. Decisions of the APEL assessment should be transparent and subject to appeal and review. The whole process, that means if student in a way, say after assessment already, then we tell the student, you don't make it. You didn't meet your specific requirements. Then student will have the opportunity to appeal the review as per our appeal policy. Our APEL policy and our institution appeal policy, same. So they need to go to exam department, appeal, and so on. Okay, I will explain that later. Information and support services will be actively publicized, taking into account the diversity of the student. All right, so we will tell about this. Our PLs actually speak to some of the students about this. Online, also, we have information about APEL. For those of you who go into the UOW website, you will see APEL inside there. So a lot of clear information is there. And quality assurance mechanism should be clear and transparent. Yes, it is very clear, transparent. There is a process. There is even an APEL center, okay, which I'm going to explain to you as we go along. All right, guys? Can? So this APEL, very interesting. The beauty of it is this, you hear we are an APEL center. Later when I explain, it is different from any other centers. Taylor's may be an APEL center for certain things. Sunway may be an APEL center for certain things. SAGI may be different. UOW may be different. Okay? Because there are numerous types of APEL. Numerous types. Okay? Not all APEL centers are the same. Okay? So this, as I explained, this is just in wording. It's a systematic process. Assess if there is a requirement of an assessment, clear assessment, and APEL encapsulate the range of activities and approaches used formally to acknowledge and establish publicly that some reasonable and significant element of learning has taken place. So we in what we see in APEL is there must be a clear mechanism to evaluate that the student say that they did this, they really did this, and they know how to do it. And they know how to do it. So that is how it is. Okay. So what type of APEL are there? What types of APELs are there? Currently, now this evolves. This is really evolving. It started off with APEL A. Then we had C. Then we had Q. And finally, we had M. Okay. M is part of A. So let me explain over here. Now, this part is important. APEL A. A stands for assess. Assess means go into the program. Go into the program. Example, I have SPM or O levels. I want to do degree. In current Malaysian regulation, can or not? Cannot, right? SPM cannot go directly to degree. Must do diploma or foundation first. However, if the student goes through APEL A, which they have certain conditions, and the student passes, the student can go into degree. Okay? Now, let's say I got diploma. I worked many years. I got diploma now, 40 years. I'm 40 years old. I work for 20 years, but my highest level is diploma. I don't want to do degree lah. I want to do masters. I want to do MBA. Malaysian regulation cannot. But if I go through APEL, I go and do the test, I go and do assessment. If I pass, I'm given a letter. I can go to the institution, say, I got APEL here, that APEL cert that allows me to go into tahap tujuh. Tahap tujuh, the other way around, I think you'll see my hand the other way around, is masters. So I don't need to do degree, I can go into masters. This is APEL A. A stands for assess. Understand? Okay. Now, who can do this? Siapa boleh buat APEL A? Which institution can do? There are a few institutions in Malaysia that has applied to be APEL A center. That means they can apply to be APEL A center. Also, MQA website. You go to MQA, all right, inside there got an APEL. APEL. You can click there and you can also apply there. All right. Then from there, they will be able to channel you to the right center. Okay. We, UOW Malaysia, is not an APEL A center. We are not. Why? Because during that time, when applications were open, it was only open to a few institutions, right? A few connected institutions, which we were not one of them. Currently, we can apply to be a center, but we have not done it, nor are we thinking of doing it. The cost element is there, and also the competition of many other centers. Now, you may ask, isn't it good student be a center? Yes, of course it is good. But a student who is assessed in center A with the cert can also join us over here, because the cert, there are two types of cert. Majority of the cert is open to any institution. There are some certs to say that only for the specific institution. That is why when a student come into us, say that I want to do my master's, and they bring an APEL cert, our marketing department very good already in their mind. They look at the cert and then they see what level that the student want to do, and is it an open cert. If it is an open cert, immediately we can take. We take the student, no problem. That letter, that cert is an official government document. Okay. If student go through APEL A process in the institution A, and fail, there are many reasons why they can fail. All right. Then they will not be issued a cert. They come to see us. I want to join your masters. We asked for the cert. He said, don't have. But I did my APEL, but he's trying to pull a fast one. No, cannot take. No cert, cannot come in. This one, academicians, you no need to worry, because marketing department already tapis, filter. Understand? They were already filtered. So most of the students that come to you already, they filtered already. This one memang can come in. Do we have cases of student coming in using APEL A? God. We got quite a lot also. All right. Student do already, then come to us after having the APEL A. And most of these students are matured students. I don't want to call them old, matured, because they have worked before already, and now they join us. Normally, it is for degree and masters. Okay. Now, then recently, APEL ASS, they started with this called APEL M. M stands for micro-credential. Micro-credential is entering a course because you have taken a lot of micro-credentials in that particular institution. You take already. Now, what you all know micro-credentials, right? Micro-credentials are small courses that are part of the bigger program. At UOW Malaysia in Selangor, business school is very active in micro-credentials. What they do is they do unbundling. They take one particular course. So that course, let's say it is 3 credit or 4 credit. Then they unbundle. The word unbundle means break it up into smaller components. So how they design was normally it was like 1 credit, 1 credit, 1 credit, 1 credit. So a 4 credit course becomes 4 1 credit course. So what it allows is anybody in the world can take. So like for me, let's say I look at statistics as a course, but statistics, they break down into 4. I'm interested, I take lah. I slowly take my time lah. I take the first one, I take second one, I take third one, I take fourth one, and so on. For me, example. Then slowly I find, whoa, the micro credentials in business school very good. Then I continue taking others. Then after that, after I take already, I think, since I've taken so many, maybe I should do my masters. All of those were unbundled for master's course, master's program. Maybe I should do my masters. Then that is called APEL M through micro credentials. Because of what I've taken there, I can apply, okay, through an institution to be able to recognize, okay, these courses. And because of that, after recognizing, they can accept me in and also give credit transfer. Okay, now, so this is also pretty active for certain institutions that practice that. Okay, but we are not an APEL M center because APEL M center needs to be part of an APEL A center. Okay, now, APEL C, C stands for credit. APEL C, C stands for credit over here. Now, what is APEL C? This one, we are a center. We are a center. We are an APEL C center. Yes, already for the past 4 years, APEL C center. APEL C stands for a recognition of a person's prior experiential learning to get credit transfer for a particular course. I give you an example. I give you an example. Now I'm in my 5 series. 30 years ago, I started doing computers, right? Now, I like on my own interest. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. I read about it, DOS, this operating system, this, that, and so on. It's interest. Then I do watch videos, I this and that, and I read on my own. So I'm actually quite knowledgeable about computing, basic computing. So suddenly now I gatal. Even though I have my other qualifications, I think it's about time I do a diploma in computing. I just want to do my own interest. Okay, nothing better to do. So I go to an institution. I join UOW Malaysia. So I say, oh, you have a diploma in computing. Then I look at the syllabus, the courses. And one of the course inside there is called Introduction to Computer Hardware. Introduction to Computer Hardware. Then I say, ini macam saya sudah belajar. I've learned based on my experience. So what I do is I go and apply for FLC. Okay, the process later I explain to you. It is not apply and get. The process is there. So I ask for the syllabus. The teacher give me syllabus. I speak to the FLC center. FLC center explain to me what is it all about. Then I see the syllabus. 1, hardware. What is motherboard? 2, what is RAM? 3, what is ROM? The different types of storage, and so on and so on. So all this I know. Okay, so I apply for FLC. So now there is a process. The teacher or the lecturer of this course, after the process, will assess me whether I meet the learning outcome of the course. Okay, whether I meet the learning outcome of the course. Because if you see your table for Introduction to Computer Hardware, got CLO, CLO1, CLO2, CLO3. So I need to meet that. So the lecturer working with FLC Center will come up with assessment for me. So the assessment can be, number 1, computer assembly, practical. He give me parts, I need to assemble. 2, maybe the second one can be an exam. I need to do exam. And what I do already, the assembly of the computer and the exam, after do already, then they will see whether I'm competent. So got your CLO, right? So if the CLO all I pass, I'm competent. If I'm competent, I get credit transfer. You get me, not credit transfer. The evidence is that. The evidence is that. If I fail my competency, then what the lecturer say? Sorry, Gabe, no choice. You have to do the subject. Go and register yourself and do the subject next semester or something like that. That is APEL C, credit transfer. We are an APEL C center. Now, you may think, wow, senang lah like that. No. We have cases of students applying, doing fail because don't meet learning outcome. Assessment method can be many ways. Presentation, demonstrations, and so on. All right. So students need to apply and there is a process. Now, the process is not as easy as I'm just telling you, hey, just apply, get. No, there is a process. There's even costs involved, money involved. I will explain to you. Okay? Now, and finally, this one very interesting. So you listen. Yeah. Stephanie, wait, about the 50%, I explained to you about the LO. Okay? All must achieve. Now, APEL Q is the one which everybody gets so excited. APEL Q is qualification. That means you go through APEL Q, you get the full qualification, you know. Qualification means the parchment, the level of it without even going for class. Sounds interesting, right? Oh my God. The assessment method, I see also, susah, very difficult. What APEL Q does is certain institution got the authority to perform APEL Q. That means you apply for APEL Q and the institution will assess you based on PLO, Program Learning Outcome. PLO is encompassing everything of what is required inside there. The whole assessment is not a test, not only a test. It could be a test, it could be this, it could be that, and the duration can be between 8 months to a year or more, depending on how and so on. And what I know based on reading and based on speaking to institutions that do this, visit to your employer is needed. Interview your colleagues and also your superior is needed. Evidence of achievement is needed. Following you, like you're working, right? A job shadowing, in not so much a shadow, but observation is needed. A lot of things are covered. But there is this thing called APEL Q. Very interesting. We are not a center. Who is? If I'm not wrong, SAGI can do one course. They are diploma in early childhood. They have APEL Q. Okay? They have APEL Q because of the market that it is. Okay? Diploma level only. Other than that, because diploma, you look at it like the PLO for diploma is easier to observe and to evaluate than if you're looking at a level 6 or a level 7. All right? Degree, very hard to see itself. That is why. Not say cannot, but that is too stringent, it's too complex. So a lot of institutions, even though it's good, they're not do FLQ. Because for us to give our parchment award to a particular student, if we follow the traditional sense, it's very straightforward. Betul kan? Traditional sense. Semester 1 do 4 subjects, semester 2 do 4 subjects, pass the exam, go, 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 go. Now, you need to evaluate this person as a totality based on the achievement of the program. So you read the PLO and you go down. So that is why a lot of institutions are also a little bit fearful in partaking in FLQ process. Okay? But there is. So there is in the market. So ladies and gentlemen, we see APEL here, we got A and subset of it is M, C and Q. And however, we only UOW, University of Wollongong, Malaysia is an APEL C center. We have 4 institutions under UOW Malaysia. We got Penang campus, we have Glen Marie University, and we got 2 colleges. All right, so we got 3, we got 4 total, but only University of Wollongong, Malaysia, which the Vice Chancellor is Prof. Yu, that institution can do FLC. Even my college, KDU College, I cannot do FLC. I cannot, because it is not under University of Wollongong, Malaysia. All right. So only University of Wollongong is, see, the thing about, you need to understand that the 4 institutions are 4 separate license. APEL C center is given to one institution, regardless, even all of us are brothers and sisters. Tak ada kira. So only one. So that is why Penang used to be an APEL C center. However, after the expiry, they have this, it was a strategic decision on their side to say that, no, we will not want to continue. If there are any students that come in wanting to do a business course, we will then channel them to Glen Marie. So they'll channel them over here, and that means the student do APEL C here and they study over here. Okay, so Penang, it was a business decision. It's nothing wrong, all right? Because that is how it was looked. Okay, so only the university is FLC Center. So basically over here, when it started, Hazim and I were the one that came out with the paperwork and we ran, and then we are the center coordinators. All right, so I'm actually the center coordinator, and Hazim, it is the senior executive on that. So all process on APEL will be done by us. The process of APEL, however, the assessment and the evaluation goes to the school because they are subject expert. They are subject expert. I will explain to you. Okay, so I'm mainly going to talk on APEL A and APEL C. Yeah? Okay, so APEL background of APEL A, open entry policy system, blah, blah, blah. This is a bit of historical. I will just, not so important. APEL C basically started in 2015. So we are 10 years old, 10 years old already, and how it grew until today. All right, now policies. Okay, APEL A policy. So now, the reason why I want to stress on APEL A is a lot, when you guys go for education fair and a lot of things, sometimes the students will come, hey, I got not enough qualification to go into a particular program, can or not? So that is APEL A. So at least you will know and be able to advise the student, oh, no, we are not an APEL A center. You need to apply through MQA. Okay. APEL A is applicable to local and international applicants who do not meet the regular entry requirements. So it's local and international, all, not only Malaysians, semua boleh. However, please take note, these are MQA government regulation. At times they change. So it's important for us to keep abreast of what the government says. Okay, they change, right? Sometimes they change policies. Currently, it is open to both local and international. Applicants applying for entry via APEL A must meet the minimum age requirements stipulated in the qualification. I will show you. Applicants must fulfill the minimum formal qualification stipulated for master's and doctorate levels. I will show you. And applicants applying for entry via APEL A must have prior experiential learning. Okay, so for APEL A, program at MQF level 8. MQF level 8, PhD, doctorate by coursework, mixed mode, and full research. So it's a doctorate program. It is also a PhD program. You can apply using APEL A. So what is the keperluan? Number one, at least 35 years old. If a person tell you 25 years old, I want to apply for APEL A to do PhD, I've been working for 5 years, cannot. Don't waste time. Cannot. You need 35 years old. Possess at least a bachelor's degree. You need a bachelor's degree or equivalent qualification. Okay? So, normally PhD, you need master's. Now, you need at least a bachelor's degree. Possess at least 5 years of relevant working experience after completion of the bachelor's degree program. You need at least 5 years working experience and pass APEL A assessment for doctorate level. So there is an assessment, got test one, for you to do APEL A, got test. Must pay money and got test. MQA need to make money. So next, masters. Masters, 30 years old, STPM, diploma or equivalent qualification. So now masters, so masters, what is the minimum requirement? I need STPM or diploma. So good lah. A lot of our students who already finished a diploma go and work for 10 years. Now they're already 31, 32. They can apply APEL A, and when they pass, they can do masters straight away. Relevant experience, pass assessment. For degree, at least 21 years old. So now look at this, guys. For degree, at least 21 years old, possess relevant working experience, and pass APEL A assessment. Now, for diploma, tahap 4, at least 20 years old. Now, you may ask, Gabe, why got diploma and certificate? All students got SPM? No, a lot of students know SPM. A lot of individuals know SPM. Why? Many don't take SPM. Many go after Form 5, don't even go for exam for SPM. Recent statistics show that it is quite shocking. Okay, some students after 15 years old already go and work. Okay, and you must understand the market is such that there are many individuals who are like that. So this is an opportunity for them. Okay, so as you see, so this is APEL A and 3. Okay, now So we are looking at APEL A is to look into their outcome. So MQF will evaluate them on their particular level that it is required. Dapat. Okay. So what is the APEL A instrument? Instrument. How is the assessment instrument done by APEL A? So APEL A, when you apply, student apply, the MQA will do these three things: aptitude test, portfolio, and interview. So this one very interesting. I show you. This one already in the government webpage. I extract there to show you all. So certificate, diploma, we don't talk lah. Let's say bachelor. Bachelor, if a student apply, aptitude test 30%, portfolio 70%. They need to come up with a portfolio and they need to do tests. One of the student who passed APEL A level 6 for bachelor who joined us, I asked her, hey, what was the aptitude test? What did the government ask you? It's called general paper. It's aptitude test is got mathematic question, got BM question, got sejarah question, got general knowledge question, and so on. So they may ask you how many states are there in Malaysia. Simple as that. Okay. So that's got aptitude test. So for student applying for higher level like tahap 7, not only do they need to do, you see, I see my arrow here, coursework, mixed word, MBA, for MBA, 40% aptitude, 40% portfolio, got interview. Got interview. So the officer will interview you because they need to make sure you are ready for a tahap 7. Tahap 7, guys, is quite high. You need to have certain level. So this is the process. Can change or not? Cannot. This one government one. Okay, government set. All right. So I extracted from the government website. Okay. So how to apply? Banyak senang want to apply. There is a webpage, official government webpage. No need to sakit kepala. So we always tell our marketing people, because we are not a center, just go and click here. You click there, is follow the government webpage, tell you where and so on. The government webpage will also tell you which center nearest to you, where to go. The student that I had who did APEL A, she did in MQA. She went to MQA itself to do, because there MQA is the main center. Okay, so she went to do that, but it may not be. Some people over in Penang, they APEL A, when they do, they may not go to MQA. Maybe in Penang, the center is Sagi, for example. Okay, example, I don't know, but it could be. So, and if it is Perak, it's different. If it is Johor, it's different. But in KL one, hers was easy. She just went to MQA. Okay, so that is about APEL A. Before we take a break, any questions on APEL A so far? I think I show you this part first. Payment. So before the question, this is payment. So how much? Now, this facts over here is current. It changes one. Government fees ada naik, ada turun. Certificate diploma level 155 and it goes on. And any information is all on the website. So we always advise the student to update. Okay. So question, yes, Stephanie, you got a question? Should you want to write inside there or what? Oh, good. Expensive to apply, Stephanie, your question, I already showed that. This is the pricing. This is the pricing. Okay. Think I can't talk. Why you can't talk? Oh, you apa tu? Unmute. Okay, tak apa. She's trying to write. Okay. Good, clear. So this APEL A, are we a center? No, we are not, But this is very popular because most of the students that come in will ask about APEL A1 because they do not have not enough entry requirements to join. Okay. So we advise them go to the webpage. Okay. So those who had APEL A can come to SOB micro credentials. Can. You not micro credential. Micro credential can come. Micro credential. Now, two separate things. School of Business have micro credentials. School of Business also got a ODL program. Micro credentials are not a formal program. ODL, Open Distance Learning, is a formal certificate program. So SOB in Selangor, we have conventional program, the normal program that students come to campus. We have ODL, where students learn online, and we also have micro credentials. For students to do micro credentials, you no need APEL A. Micro credentials is open to anybody who wants to study. A 10-year-old boy who wants to learn about statistics can even go to Oxford or Harvard micro-credentials and sign up. Micro-credentials, anybody can do one. Anybody can do one. The whole idea for micro-credentials is that. But ODL and conventional, no. ODL and conventional program have very strict entry requirements, as I show you in the MQF earlier on when I started my briefing. And I explained to you, degree, you need A levels, STPM, foundation, or diploma. Those are conventional and ODL. Okay, so APEL A is needed. APEL A is needed. Okay, so how APEL A is part, how APEL R, that one institution. So APEL M is part, we are not a center, so we cannot do. We cannot do. All right. We cannot do the recognition of APEL of the full micro credential. What we do is here, we have micro credentials in business school, and the business school will then, if the student, our area is just micro credentials here. The students finish the micro credential, then come when they are in the program, they apply for credit transfer through APEL-C, through APEL-C. So the process is APEL-C process. We still need to assess them or evaluate them. Okay, that is why it differs over there. Okay, so guys, take a break. It's 10:04. Please come back at 10:10 for us to continue. Okay, 10:10. Can Hello, hello. SOB micro-credential courses are for what they do. Unbundling is for degree and masters. The last time this was actually started from Dr. Brian's time, and they did degree and masters. Okay, let's continue over here. Now I'm going to talk about FLC. FLC is what we can do. Okay. Now, apply for credit transfer. So how does FLC work? FLC, who is it for? Who is it for? Yeah, what the like it. Students have entered through FLA or conventional route. So FLC is open to all students, regardless of whether is it conventional or whether is it through FLA. Conventional means following the normal process of entry requirement. So who implements FLC? Us. Higher education providers approved by MQA. We are a higher education provider approved by MQA. We went through a very stringent process to become an FLC center. Very stringent. So it goes through process, interviews, this, that, and so on. What they were doing is to test our competency in running such a center. Okay. Now, what is the assessment principle for FLC? Students' competency versus CLO. So every CLO needs to be met. It means this. Let's say student is applying for a particular course, and in that course, there is 3 CLO. So if student CLO number 1 assessment get 80 out of 100, CLO number 2 get 90 out of 100, but CLO 3 get 49 out of 100. 49 fail. Totally, this student is regarded as not competent. So no credit transfer. Fail. It means fail. 49 means fail. So the student must pass all the CLOs. It is not average. It is not 80 campur 90 campur 49 dibagikan kepada 3. No. It is every individual must pass. Okay. That is why it is competency based. You need to meet all course learning outcome. Okay. So maximum credit, how much, what is the peratus? Is 30%. Very good. 30%. So if a diploma is 90 credits, a student enter and then they can get, they are able to do a lot of credit transfer through FLC. Maximum is 30. Wow, that is a lot. Okay. So it's already taking away 1/3 of the program already. Okay. So in the formal, this one you all will know. Credit transfer in Malaysia, the rules are like that. Formal learning, normally from diploma to degree, it is 50% credit transfer. C grade and above 30%, or and then B grade and above is 20%. So you maximum you can bring 50%. You understand? This is by law, but they allow institution to control. In UOW Malaysia, some programs only allow 30%. That is the regulation. But by law, they say you can do until that. Okay? So formal learning is 50%. Non-formal and informal under FLC is 30%. 50 plus 30 is not, if 50 plus 30 is 80. But for the total credit transfer, we are only allowed 60. 60. You understand this? 60. Cannot 80 lah. If 80, they only come and do 20%, is like no need to study, right? So basically, this is from the ministry. So the ministry has set this regulation. So in an optimum situation, a student can get 60% credit transfer from your formal learning and from your APEL. So it's like this. If we give formal learning maximum 50, and this student can get 50, wow, really can get 50. Then for the non-formal under the APEL one, maximum 10 10 because 50 already dibagi mah. So maximum 10, because the maximum we can give is 60. So it's only 10. Even though by law it is 30, but we only can give 10. So if Formal learning, we already give, like follow UOW in many of our courses in Selangor is 30. So we already give 30 maximum. So under APEL, it is another 30 lah to a maximum of 60. Okay, understand? So this is what we look at over here. Okay, formal can be no, formal cannot be micro-credential. Formal is anything that has a formal certificate that is recognized under a board, like your diploma, your degree, SPM, masters, PhD, and so on. Okay, okay, so that is called formal learning. So implementation policy. So APEL C is Malaysian and international student all registered with us, regardless of mode of entry, formal or APEL. Okay, so APEL C prior experiential learning, non-formal and informal for the purpose of credit award. Okay, all areas and levels of MQF, all areas and levels of MQF. So limited to only courses in programs conducted. So this one here, I put up here, but I want to take a caution. Over here has already reviewed. So now for postgraduate program, masters, no problem. Previously, masters only allowed for coursework and mixed mode. Okay, that means coursework and mixed mode. Now, the newest regulation that earlier on I show here, now we got full research. They baru allowed for full research. I just want to stress on that. Why I purposely leave that there, what I explained to you is this. Because we are one institution that we have two types of postgraduate program. We have our MBA. Our MBA is coursework, to a certain extent mixed mode, because we also have dissertations and so on. And we have masters by research. So on these two contexts, APEL A is now allowed. Previously not allowed. Now it is allowed. Okay. So okay, so that was APEL A I'm talking about. But for APEL C here, I just want to make myself clear. Sorry if I've confused you. APEL C for postgraduate programs, it is only coursework and mixed mode. Okay, coursework and mixed mode. It means this. Let's say in your MBA, MBA is 40 credits. There is 6 credits that is your dissertation. Student cannot apply for the dissertation part. All right. Anything to do with research, you cannot apply for FLC. Okay. You cannot. So it is only the coursework related courses that can. You understand this? Coursework related courses. You cannot apply for like by research, you cannot apply for FLC. Okay. FL A enter can, but for applying for FLC, you cannot. Okay. Because it's going to be very funny, right? If a student, because if you're, for those of you who know, some of you may be supervisors for masters by research. What do students do? Students are actually doing the dissertation. So theirs is maybe chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Earlier on is problem identification, literature review, and so on. So how do you do FLC? Because the learning outcome, the CLO, is very different compared to what research this person is actually looking into. Okay, so if students are applying for that kind of APEL, then it's APEL Q already lah. Qualifications, the total qualifications, which we are not a center. Okay. So award credit, programs approved by ministry and obtain at least a PA from MQA. So basically, what programs can student apply? So under our university, UOW Malaysia University, UOW Malaysia in Glen Marie, all programs lah under that institution. Why? Because all our programs, at least we got PA mah. PA is provisional accreditation. FA is full accreditation. So ours all, if we are running the program, of course we got PA lah. So all programs. Okay. Now, credit transfer without grade and not credit exemption. So what the students will get under FLC is credit transfer, CT. All right. It is not exemption. The difference with exemption, you all know lah, credit transfer and exemption. So it's total credit transfer. Okay, so it will be shown inside there, CT APEL, what course? CT APEL. So the student no need to do that course, but the credit is recognized. It's recognized for the student to achieve the qualification. All right. Courses that form part of the program structure under professional bodies may be considered for FLC, may be considered subject to acceptance by relevant professional bodies. Higher education provider is responsible for securing such approval. Example, engineering board is a relevant professional body for all our degrees in engineering. Okay, all yeah. So engineering school, if they have a student applying for FLC, they need to refer to engineering board. Ask engineering board, boleh ke tak? Can or not? Can this student apply? Do we accept? Engineering board may turn around and say, no, we engineering board, we don't want. We don't want to participate in this. We want all the students, regardless of their experience, must do the class. Then we have to tell the student, I'm sorry, our professional body doesn't allow so. Okay. Now, does this happen? Of course. There are certain professional bodies that are very strict. Okay. Now, of course, we are governed. I can name two. One is the nursing board. One is the engineering board. Have we communicated on whether they allow certain courses? Because it could be case-to-case basis. All right. So the last time there was an inquiry from engineering school. One student wanted to apply for FLC. So I advised them, okay, you need to communicate with an engineering board, blah, 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 and so on. However, during the process, the student retracted their application. Said, yeah, maybe not. I just want to, I think it's good for me to just go for class. So they didn't go through the full process to communicate with engineering board. So if you ask me, does engineering board allow or not? Until today, no case. We didn't do any actual cases. Okay, so we don't know. Okay, even though you ask engineering board now, engineering board, do you accept FLC? They will say depending on the student, depending on case to case. So they also cannot give an answer. So they will see and so on. So what they are trying to say here under the ministry is the engineering board has total autonomy on allowing whether the student can apply or not. Okay, understand? Professional bodies lah. Okay. Award of credit through APEL cannot be transferred automatically to another program. That means I sign Bachelor in Business. I apply FLC for accounting. Then halfway through, I pass. I mean, I already attained my FLC for accounting. Halfway through, I switch. I don't want to do Bachelor of Business in accounting. A Bachelor of Business, I jump to Bachelor in Finance. There is also an accounting paper. However, that accounting paper is accounting and finance something. It's also got a word accounting. So then you must make sure that it is not automatically transferred because they need to meet 80% of the LO of the two courses. The one that you attain, the course that you did the assessment and you pass, the LO must be similar. I mean, must be 80% similar to the other one. Okay, to the other one. Now, this one, many times we ask the MQA, how do you quantify 80% on something so subjective like LO? So basically, they say that the institution will decide with the authority of the exam board and Senate, and there must be evidence. So it's very simple. It is basically looking at the learning outcome and the course learning and the breakdown. Table 4 got the breakdown. So we take two, then we compare. The school will compare and to see whether it meets 80 or not. But it's still very subjective. So the school need to have evidence and justification why they accept the transfer or why do they not accept. And if this is accepted by the Senate approval, oh, the grades, no problem, then it is accepted. Okay, so they give autonomy to us. Okay, you understand? So guys, you may think, oh, like that, just take anything lah because MQA don't check. My friend, they check. They do audit every 2 years. All right, they do audit every 2 years. They ask for our document and they check. So if they see, hey, this one persamaan 60% saja and your justification is 85% and your Senate approve, that means you guna Senate tak boleh pakai ya. You see not? So cannot play cannot, tak boleh main-main punya. Even though it's internal you like the student or what, cannot, because audit is done. Our audit was last year, beginning of last year, end of 23, beginning of 24. That was our audit. So they came and checked, and we were quite amazed. They actually checked quite thoroughly on this kind of matters. Okay, so take note. 2, award of credit through APEL equivalent to credit value of the course applied for, of course. If it's 4 credits, you apply APEL, you get all 4 credits lah. Credit awarded for the course is applicable to the specific course applied for. Credits are not automatically applicable to prerequisite. This is very important. Account 1, the course, accounting 1, accounting 2. In our normal sense, accounting 2 is a progression from accounting 1, and accounting 1 can be the prerequisite for accounting 2. We all know this. Student apply for APEL C for accounting 2 and pass. Doesn't mean it's automatically for accounting 1 also. Accounting 1, they still need to do unless they apply. They also apply for it and pass. Has there been cases of student passing a more advanced course over the earlier? Yes. You may laugh. Yes. Students actually, there is students who actually pass the second one, but the first one didn't pass. And the students say, oh my God, I malu lah, but it's true. But they accepted it. They accepted it. So second one, they pass. First one, they don't pass. Even though by flow, it is prerequisite. Why? You may ask. You may say, Gabe, we got such thing. Yes. This fellow has been working in industry. But when during the work itself, a lot of practical elements in the second paper that he knows. But the theoretical knowledge that was touched in lesson 1, a lot of people, even though working for 10, 15 years, don't know one, especially in culinary school. Especially in culinary school, they know how to do. They know practical, this and that, high level. But the theoretical framework and knowledge, they may not know. Lengkup. Fail. Tak apa lah, but he understands. Tak apa. No, not say tak apa. No choice. Have to study. Study. Have to do exam. Understand? Okay. Next. Separate assessment for each course. Credit cannot be awarded be granted on a block basis. Every single APEL C submission must have separate assessment. If student apply for 2 courses APEL C, Finance 1, Finance 2, there cannot be one assessment to target 2. No such thing. It's always individual. Okay? FLC for all courses except project or dissertation, as I said. Executive diploma is by regulation, but I no need to touch because we don't offer over here. Okay? Implementation process. Now, so basically, students must apply for APEL C before registering for the relevant course. So that's why when students join, already starting, they already know we are at APEL Center. Then they will start applying. They will look at their syllabus for the whole program. Then they will start applying already. Student cannot join the program register. Then after that, this one I want to apply for APEL C. They cannot. Once you register, you're already in there. You cannot drop. Okay? Courses awarded for APEL C, it will show in the transcript as an CT APEL. So ours is written CT APEL this. Okay. For those of you who have seen your students' transcript that flow through or from another institution, there is the part on credit transfer kan? The top or the bottom, credit transfer. Taylor student coming to UOW, they did their diploma, they do degree. So credit transfer, these are the courses. Then in another part there, APEL. So they will put the APEL. So if the student wants, so they will have inside there. So these are all the credit transfer courses. Understand? So credit transfer, recognition of the credits. Okay. Student who failed APEL C assessment for the course applied for will have to complete the course through the usual process. They go through APEL C, they fail, they need to do the course. If no, they will not have enough credit. Okay. And of course, we will keep our records and so on. Okay. So process and FLC instrument. So this is how it is done. Simple. This is a very simple thing. Pre-application, before application. Student know about FLC. First thing, any student in Glen Marie or they want to know about APEL, so any student, Penang also, communicate with APEL C Center. So it's myself or Hazim. Normally communicate with Hazim so that he will know that there is this thing. He will already send the details to the student and he will do personal briefing to the student one-to-one. Okay, online, like if it's in Penang, it's online or whatever, just explain to the student what is APEL C all about. Then, during that time, the student will say, oh, must pay money ah. Oh, got test ah. Macam ini, tak nak lah. I don't want, because the risk is very high. I tak nak. Then, case closed. It happened many times. Many students thought APEL C is so easy and they say, I have done accounting for the past 10 years, so I don't want to do accounting. Can ah? No, it doesn't work that way. Need evidence ma. Once they know the full story, they may not want to do. Then, if the student, yes, saya nak, I want to do. Then we have this thing called advisor. We will communicate with the school. Let's say business school, taking business school. So Hazim already briefed, and then students say, yes, I think I want to continue. Immediately, we will communicate with Dr. Sotesh, the head. We tell the head, Dr. Sotesh, there is a student interested to do FLC. This is what they are interested in. Then the school will appoint an advisor. The advisor is normally a senior staff who will then speak to the student, continue speaking to the student. The student will now speak to the advisor. And what will they speak on? Subject related. Our side FLC explain to the student process. The then now subject. So let's say it is in business school. Let's say Dr. Sotish herself, she speaks to the students. Say, hey, John, very good. You're interested. So what are you, you're planning to do accounting. Then she explains to the student. See, for accounting, you need all of this. You need to meet CLO. You need to do tests. You need to do this and so on. And then the school will also explain to the student, this is the assessment method that we are going to do with you in 5 weeks' time. Blah, 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 and so on. Okay? Then if the explain to the student, what is the subject and this and that. This is how it's going to be done. Then the student during that time can also pull out again. Thank you, Dr. Sotesh. Maybe I don't want to do settle. Or say, I think I got my experience. I want to do now. I'm very interested. Thank you for the information. Then only application process. Application process, there will be a self-assessment form. The school will then come up with a question that students need to write 500 words on why I am ready to apply for this course. What? So this is where the students will start writing. I am applying for accounting one because in my previous job, I was the senior accounting manager of Toyota, and this is what I did, this is what I do, this is blah, 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 dan lain lagi. The question is given by the school, by the advisor. Advisor will give the question. Then after write everything, student express. The school advisor recommendation. See, where is it, mana ni? Advisor recommendation. The advisor read already. Oh, not bad. Recommended for APEL C. Recommended. That means only then they will apply. That means at the earlier stage, it's only getting information. Why? You may ask, Gabe, so many process. Yes, many students don't understand. So MQA say that there must be a lot of processes, gatekeepers, to make sure students understand. So at every level, we explain to them the same thing over and over, because when APEL C was earlier initially introduced, there was a lot of misconception. And the misconception was, apply, get, no need to study. Yay, so easy. Just apply. No, the process is stringent. Then once the advisor recommend or don't recommend, the advisor can also don't recommend. After writing, this fellow write the essay, oh my God, can't even structure a sentence, no evidence, nothing. Then he takes the students, my friend, maybe not lah. Okay, my friend, maybe not lah. Because we feel that this is, we don't want you to waste your time, and we find that this is very challenging. Your experience may not justify. Or, congratulations, very good, please continue. Then students' formal application. Then only they formally apply. Once they formally apply, then the whole engine starts moving. The process of assessment and so on. So ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you. The whole process is not that simple. So it is APEL C Center start briefing them. The advisor will brief them and explain about the assessment modes. Students still interested, they will then start the application by pre-application by writing an essay for self-assessment. The advisor will then recommend or non-recommend, and finally the formal application. Okay, so money application for each course or subject is 200. Okay, 200. When does it start payment? Here, only after the formal application they will pay. Here, free, briefing or free, no need. Here, once the formal application go in, is 200 ringgit. If student passes APEL assessment, for credit transfer, it is 500. Okay? Student pass APEL, 200 ringgit. Lepas itu, they want to do the credit transfer mah. Now got the third one, that one is 500 ringgit. You get it? What if register then want to apply for just one course? Still, what if registered the course, then want to apply for just one course, still can apply APEL C. You can apply how many APEL Cs that you want. It is fine. Yes, into the program. You can apply for one. You can apply for 2 courses. You can apply for 3, 4, and so on. You may apply for 4. You do all the tests. You may only pass 2. Or you can pass all 4. You see? So this is the cost over here. Right? So already, yes, APEL C is only open for students already in the program. Now, a very good question there. Let me explain to you. Marketing has been told, instructed, when they do counseling to students in education fair or anything, they cannot tell students, oh, you can apply for APEL C, you can get credit transfer of 10 credits. Cannot. It's illegal, against the law. They can say, we have an APEL C center that you have the opportunity, or you can apply APEL C, what APEL C is all about. And depending on the outcome, you may get credit transfer. You cannot say because marketing, you want to close the deal, you tell the student, wow, you want to do degree, last time you senior manager, I guarantee you can get 30 credits off. Cannot, no guarantee one. And if the marketing or anybody or any one of us say that, it is illegal under APEL guideline. APEL guideline states you cannot say any of it. You can explain what APEL C is, but you cannot tell the student they will sure get, because you want to induce them to join your program. Tak boleh. Illegal. Understand? Okay. So, what are the instrument? The instrument is what assessment method do we use to assess? Yes, 500 for one course. So if student apply for 3 courses, 3 kali 200 is guaranteed, must pay. So that's 600. Then 500, yes, have to. What do they save? It is still cheaper than the normal when they join the course, number 1. And number 2, they will save time. They will save time. So what are the instrument? The instrument here, there are 2. Challenge test and or portfolio. All right. Challenge test means you do a test. So it is an portfolio or portfolio. Okay. So what is a challenge test? The word is called challenge test. Is actually like final exam is a challenge test. Presentation is a challenge test. Writing report is a challenge test. Practical exam is a challenge test. All those are called challenge tests. Okay, so these are examples: written test, oral test, presentation, product, and so on. So written test is what our students do for final exam lah. So you can assess the student based on this, depending on suitability with course content. Depending on suitability. Okay, example. If it is a finance paper, if it's an accounting paper, and you want to do an assessment for the student, can you do a presentation? Not that good. Can you do a report? Not that good. So maybe you do a test, you do an exam, you do a 2-hour exam where students sit down and demonstrate the various CLOs. Or you may do a test and a portfolio. Students say, I have done so many things, because one of your CLO could be something to do with working for community and so on. So the portfolio is the evidence that the student shows that this person that they have done. So later I'll talk about portfolio, and there could be a test. So it could be a test and portfolio. The test, we test CLO 1 and 2. The portfolio is for CLO 3. Macam tu lah. All right. So in our last case that we had, it was a chef, a student as a chef working in industry 20 over years. Joiners do degree. So for her, a lot of her assessment is challenge test. Why? Chef, and the course that she's doing is Bachelor in Culinary. So she applying APEL C for the practical courses, baking lah, hot kitchen lah, butchery lah, all of this. So how? Challenge test lah. The test, 4-hour test. Question, in these 4 hours, you need to produce this, that. Because the CLO was very clear. Student must be able to make gâteau. Gâteau means like a cake lah. And then puff pastry, like your Danishes and so on. And be able to decorate and pipe the gâteau into a Black Forest cake, for example. So students, CLO is 3. So in 4 hours, they need to make a cake, a puff, a sponge. And from there, convert it into a gâteau that is Black Forest. And also during that time, she needs to demonstrate ability to do puff pastry, folding and so Danish and whatnot. I still remember. Okay, so in 4 hours, she demonstrate that. So during that time, when she's doing it, inside got assessor lah. And it was done in UG. So Miss Kin, which is our manager of exam department, she was actually during that time, she was in the hall, in the kitchen as a exam department colleague. So it is done exactly like an exam. There were 2 examiners and exam department needs to be inside to make sure it is done properly. And we also video record the whole process, evidence that she did. So it's actually a lot of work for FLC Center. We put it there, the camera, Hazim is on and off there, make sure it's recorded. And during the process, the examiner speak to the student. Why is this done? Why do you do this? Why do you keep this item at a certain temperature? So all of those are bukti. Why? During the audit, when the MQA comes, all right, Miss So-and-so attained. Can you prove to us that she really did? So we know lah. Boleh. Inilah video. You can watch 4 hours. Take your time. This is the mark sheet. And so on. Okay. So that is why it's very stringent. Money all come to us. Money don't go MQA. Ini kita punya. Money comes to us. Okay. So understand So basic principle of assessment, students learning meet requirements. Every CLO must meet 50%. Every CLO 50%. Okay, minimum 50%. So this is the process lah. Learner undertake self-assessment exercise. Eligible, yes. Learner submit FLC application and fee. Then it is assessment. Then they do challenge test or they do portfolio. Then if pass, endorsed by academic board, credit awarded, notified to learners. Okay, so it is the same. It is the same like students do our exam. Got go through IAB, got go through SENET and so on one. Okay, so I just want to, before that, I stress a little bit. So we talk about challenge test. Now, what about portfolio? Apa itu portfolio? For certain courses, like example, if you're talking about creative media. So we had a case over here, a student at a master's level. He has many years in the creative media. He was an editor, designer, this and that and whatnot. So when he was doing his master's, he applied for FLC. And during that time, when he applied for FLC, because the course requires demonstration of competency, okay? And because it is creative aspect, he had a portfolio, a physical portfolio. So he flipped. See, this is me in the Star newspaper. You can see my achievement. This is my work. This is a letter from my previous employer. This is a letter from a client because he became a consultant. This is a letter from a client to say that they have taken our work. This is the work that I'm showing, So all of that. So that is called a portfolio. So he will need to go through an interview. The lecturer will have 2 individuals to interview the person. Interview. Say, okay, this is your portfolio. Your portfolio, you have demonstrated this based on the CLO. Then they will ask question. The interview is to verify the evidence. So you say you work for Nissan, as you did a project for Nissan. Can you elaborate further? Can you explain what was done? Why do you say that this is meeting your LO and so on? This is the evidence. This is to, and during that process, same, Keen is always inside there sitting down, and there is a video camera to make sure. All right. And I believe many of you know that the DJ Prem, Mix FM, he was our student and also a APEL C student. All right. He was an APEL C student. So he did his bachelor in communication. So there were certain courses, like example, events and so on. Our friend used to run events for many years. He's not young. He's nearly his late 40s already. All right. So he used to run event. He had the evidence. So the lecturer had to interview him with his portfolio and so on and what lah. These are the things he did, show evidence. So Prem actually needed to go back and find evidence from, he dig out the photos, this and that, go and get his old employer to write letter for him. So he got from Astro, he got from this and that and so on. The evidence, the proof that he has done. So when the lecturer interview him, they say, this guy has actually done. All right. Like there was a course called public speaking. This guy, being an MC, he's been doing MC and so on and whatnot. So we may think immediate, no, but it goes through that process. We still want to show the evidence and what. So we even, how the lecturer see is, they don't even see him as Prem, as the popular DJ, No, but they see him as any other student showing evidence. But for him, evidence was easy. He had so much evidence to prove. And during the interview, they verified the evidence. So that was actually quite interesting. Okay. So there is this thing, test and portfolio, or test or portfolio. Okay, so there are two key elements over there. So this is the assessment method. Okay, questions? Can? Boleh? Okay. So that is the process. So student registration, as I explained earlier, once you see this process over here, that is already the process that they go. So this is only in writing. All right. So one key thing is records. Evidence is key. Very important to have the evidence. Okay. So anything that the student has done, but they must have evidence. That is why we are very stringent. We keep our evidence video recording. Everything we do is video record, and then the rubric, everything is still kept. So Hazim has actually a vault. It's called the APEL C vault, where everything is kept inside there. Every single interview, every single assessment done is inside there. Even the first time when the students come and see us, we discuss about what APEL C is. We also have a form so that there is clear evidence. Because how MQA looks at it is that they want to see the process, and they want to see whether we follow those processes with evidence. Keep for 3 years? No, we keep more than 3 years because our audit comes every 2 years, but renewal of license is every 5 years. So we will normally keep for 5 years. We have audit and renewal license different, Audit, they come audit, MQA audit. Then our license need to renew every 5 years. So actually, we are running this for already 6.5 years already, since attainment of the license. Okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So that is APEL. Okay, that is APEL. So we have, I just want to recap. We have APEL A, APEL C, APEL M, APEL Q. But you all just put in your mind APEL A and APEL C. We are only an APEL C center. We are not an APEL A. But why did I stress so much on APEL A? Because majority of the students that contact you all will ask about APEL A. They won't even think of APEL C. Only when they come in, they will think. Because most of them will come in and say, Cikgu, I want to do degree, tapi saya ada SPM. Boleh ke tak? So that one, always remember, once you get the slides, when Hazim send out to you all, just remember, MQA. Go to the MQA site, channel the students over there. Student, you click there, macam tu, go to MQA. Because we are not a center, we cannot speak on their behalf. Go to MQA and all the information is there. So once the student attain APEL A, they can join us. So far in Glen Marie, we already had 4 to 5 APEL C cases. Not that many, 4 to 5 cases. And we have already done. So we have quite a bit of experience, experience running APEL C over here. Okay, as we target more corporate clients, FLC will then be more relevant because a lot of them are start coming in to get credit transfer and so on. However, as I said earlier on, majority of the questions that we get, Hazim gets called, APEL Center, call, is on APEL A. A lot of them ask, I heard you all do APEL, betul kita buat APEL. So we tell them, I saw on your website, yes. I only have a SPM. Can I do my master's? Can I do my degree? Our website already very clear. We are an FLC center and we explain. But many students just jump. No issue. We are there to help them. So even though we don't make money out of FLA, Hazim very kindly always, he already got a fixed template. He already explained nicely apa itu FLA and so on. He will send to the student. So we do our part also lah to help the government to develop matters pertaining to lifelong learning, even though we make no money there. So itu yang apa kita buat lah. Faham Alright. So tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, thank you very much. I hope you are clearer about what APEL is. Always remember, APEL C Center, only one institution, one only, which is the university, one only. So anything in that university, any program, any course can apply if it is a coursework base for APEL. So that is the beauty of what we have over here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you have any further questions, feel free to drop the questions to Hazim or myself, and we'll be there to help you. Very happy to help you. And if there's any students who want to know more, your student about FLC, if they're in already, they don't need FLA lah, feel free to drop a mail to Hazim, and he will be able to help you on that. All right? With that, terima kasih. Have a very good weekend, and thank you very much.